2 days after I lost my job, my phone buzzed with a message that made my chest tighten. It was from her, my old friend from college, now a successful CEO. The message was short and sharp. "You should have learned your lesson." I stared at the screen, unsure whether to laugh or feel hurt. Losing my job had already shaken me. Her words felt like salt on an open wound. We had started our careers around the same time, full of dreams and promises to support each other. Back then, we shared late-night talks about success, failure, and how we would never let ambition ruin our friendship. Somewhere along the way, our paths had split, and I hadn't noticed how wide the gap had become. I had worked hard at my job, but the company downsized without warning. One meeting, one envelope, and years of effort were reduced to a handshake and a polite apology. I went home feeling numb, trying to figure out how to explain everything to my family without sounding defeated. When her message arrived, memories flooded back. I remembered helping her prepare presentations when she was struggling, encouraging her when investors rejected her ideas. I had believed in her long before the world did. Now, reading her words, I wondered if she remembered any of that. At first, anger took over. I typed and deleted replies, each one harsher than the last. I wanted to remind her of where she came from, of who stood by her when she had nothing but a dream. But something stopped me. Maybe it was pride, or maybe exhaustion. That night, I barely slept. I kept replaying her sentence in my mind, asking myself what lesson she thought I should have learned. Was it that loyalty doesn't matter, or that success changes how people see those who fall behind? The next morning, I decided not to reply. Instead, I updated my resume and started applying for new jobs. It wasn't easy facing rejection emails while knowing someone I once called a friend saw my struggle as a failure of character. Days turned into weeks, and slowly opportunities appeared. A smaller company invited me for an interview, valuing my experience rather than judging my recent setback. For the first time since losing my job, I felt hopeful again. One afternoon, I ran into her at a cafe. She looked surprised, almost uncomfortable. We exchanged polite greetings, and for a moment there was silence between us. Then she spoke, softer than I expected, saying she hadn't meant to sound cruel. I listened but didn't argue. I realized then that her message had said more about her than about me. Success had hardened her, just as failure had humbled me. We were no longer the same people who once dreamed together. I told her I was starting fresh and thanked her for the concern, even if it came out wrong. She nodded, unsure of what to say next. We parted ways without promises to stay in touch. Walking away, I felt lighter. Losing my job had hurt, but it also showed me who I was without a title or a paycheck. And in that clarity, I learned my own lesson, one that no CEO could ever teach me.